Okay, let's get this right. Let's get this straight. On June 17th, 2021, Joe Biden signed a law that officially made June 19th, also known as Juneteenth, an official federal holiday. But did you know, on that very same day that Joe Biden signed that law, the Supreme Court sided with child slavery?
So throughout history, Juneteenth has been known by many names: Jubilee Day, Freedom Day, Liberation Day, Emancipation Day, and today, a national holiday.
So this story seems like it's fake, but it's not fake. It's as real as a heart attack.
And so as we establish Juneteenth as our newest national holiday, let us be clear about what happened on June 19th, 1865, the day we call Juneteenth.
So Common Dreams is reporting, dangerous precedent. U.S. High Court sides with corporate giants Nestle and Cargill in child slavery case. Excuse me?
Because you see, that day was not the end of slavery in America. Yes, on that day, the enslaved people of Galveston, Texas, learned that they were free. But in fact, 2.5 years earlier, the Emancipation Proclamation ended slavery in the Confederacy. So think about that.
A lawyer for 6 men who alleged they were victims of human trafficking said the corporations, quote, should be held accountable for abetting a system of child slavery.
For more than 2 years, the enslaved people of Texas were kept in servitude. For more than 2 years, they were intentionally kept from their freedom. For more than 2 years.
Human rights advocates Thursday denounced a Supreme Court decision in favor of the U.S. corporate giants Nestle USA and Cargill, which were sued more than a decade ago by 6 men who say the two companies were complicit in child trafficking and profited when the men were enslaved on cocoa farms as children.
And then on that summer day, 156 years ago, the enslaved people of Texas learned the news. They learned that they were free, and they claimed their freedom. It was indeed an important day.
The Supreme Court ruled 8-1 against the plaintiffs, saying they had not proven the company's activities in the U.S. were sufficiently tied to the alleged child trafficking.
And still, let us also remember, that day was not the end of slavery in America. The truth is, it would be 6 more months before the 13th Amendment was ratified, before enslaved people in the South and the North were free.
So they said they had not proven the activities of the company in the U.S. were sufficiently tied to alleged child trafficking. The companies had argued that they could not be sued in the U.S. for activities that took place in West Africa. Neil Katyal, the former acting Solicitor General under the Obama administration, represented the two companies and also argued, so an Obama official represented the companies in this case, defending from the child slavery claims, and also argued that they could not be sued for complicity in child trafficking because they are corporations and not individuals.
So as we commemorate the history of Juneteenth, as we did just weeks ago with the history of the Tulsa Race Massacre, we must learn from our history, and we must teach our children our history.
So if a corporation does slavery, what are you going to do? You can't go after them. There's a legal loophole. They can't be held accountable. It's only if an individual does slavery can you go after them. Oh my God.
Because it is part of our history.
The plaintiffs, who are from Mali and say they are survivors of child trafficking and slavery in Cote d'Ivoire, filed their lawsuit under the Alien Tort Statute, an 18th century law which allows federal courts to hear civil actions filed by foreigners regarding offenses committed in violation of the law of nations or a treaty of the United States.
As a nation, it is part of American history. So let me end by saying this. We are gathered here in a house built by enslaved people.
In recent years, the court has limited when the law can be invoked, arguing it cannot be used to file a lawsuit when the offense was committed almost entirely abroad.
We are footsteps away from where President Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation.
Lawyers for the plaintiffs argue that Nestle and Cargill have total control over the production of cocoa in the region, where child slavery is widespread and where the men said they were forced to work long hours and to sleep in locked shacks at night. This is crazy.
And we are here to witness President Joe Biden establish Juneteenth as a national holiday. We have come far, and we have far to go.
The U.S. Department of Labor reported that the use of child labor on family farms in cocoa-growing areas in West Africa increased from 31% to 45% between 2008 and 2019. There's now more slavery than was going on a decade ago, or a little over a decade ago.
But today is a day of celebration. It is not only a day of pride, it is also a day for us to reaffirm and rededicate ourselves to action.
So the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit ruled in October 2018 that Nestle and Cargill couldn't avoid the lawsuits, but writing for the Supreme Court majority on Thursday, Justice Clarence Thomas said the plaintiffs had failed to establish that the company's conduct occurred in the United States, even if other conduct occurred abroad. What? And the companies made major operational decisions in the United States. This is... I honestly don't know how the fuck this could happen in 2021.
A day in which we remember the moral stain, the terrible toll that slavery took on the country and continues to take. What I've long called America's original sin.
So the same day that we're celebrating emancipation and Biden makes it a federal holiday, to his credit, that's a good thing he did that, right? But the Supreme Court is saying, we're going to side with child slavery. And they're literally doing it on a technicality.
Because this is a really, really, really important moment in our history. By making Juneteenth a federal holiday, all Americans can feel the power of this day and learn from our history.
The Supreme Court of the United States sided with child slavery. And that is not an exaggeration. So they're basically saying corporations are above the law. And they literally said, you haven't proven that they made the decision in the United States. But they're a company that's in the United States and headquartered in the United States. Where the fuck do you think they made the decision? Billionaires, corporations, moneyed interests get away with whatever they want to get away with, and they use an amalgamation of technicalities and loopholes and try to make you think you're crazy for opposing child slavery. And by the way, where the fuck is the media? Where's the media? Credit to Common Dreams for talking about this. Where's the media? So when nobody's looking and nobody's paying attention, the media doesn't say anything about this case. And so people are under the misimpression that, your government is not full of psychopathic idiots who are totally bought and owned by corporations. I got news for you. The government and the judiciary are filled with these sorts of people. This shit is fucking crazy.
Happy Juneteenth, everybody.
This song of mine.